welcome back to my channel. I'm Ashi Adani and welcome to the last episode of Buy or Buy of 2025. So let's get started. Alright, so I have like an overflowing box of hair care, skin care, body care, and makeup stuff that I've finished over the last few months to tell you whether it's worth your money or you can completely skip it. I'm gonna divide them into categories. So let's start with hair care. Okay, first we have the Kérastase Gloss Absolute Shampoo, and I love this entire Gloss Absolute range because it adds so much shine to your hair. I've used their heat protectant today and just like look at my hair, it's glistening and I love that. So I feel like if you have more concerns with your hair, for example breakage, dry ends, oily scalp, very specific concerns, then you can skip on this and you can think of something that will actually work for your hair. But if you have no concerns and you're very happy with your hair but you just want to add shine, this is definitely worth every penny. Up next we have a hair mask. This is the Love Beauty and Planet Argan Oil hair mask, and I really love this lavender range of theirs. It adds so much. The fragrance is so good. It makes your hair frizz free, it smoothens your hair, and it just keeps everything in check. So if you feel like you have hair that is out of control, this is really good. Plus it's sulfate free, so if you've done any hair treatments, this is great for that. Up next I have the Milkshake Silver Shine Conditioner. Now this is a purple conditioner which I had specifically gotten because I had gotten my hair like blonde streaks in my hair and they tend to turn orange after a few washes, so you need like a purple shampoo, which was very harsh on my hair. So my stylist asked me to switch to a purple conditioner so it can cancel out the orange while also leaving my hair soft and hydrated. Unless you have blonde hair, I don't recommend this, but if you do have blonde hair, I would highly recommend this one. It really made my hair feel so soft. Next we've got another hair mask. This is the L'Oreal professional hair mask in this is that oat version, I believe. Yeah, it is the protein plus omega 9, and this smell is so iconic. Like, oh my god, it's super iconic and I really like it. This is probably like not the first time you're seeing it in one of my buy or buys, because we do stock up on this very naturally and very often as a family, because my mom dad also really like this. It repairs your hair, it leaves your hair frizz free and shiny, and it's a really good hair mask. So if you don't want to think a lot before buying a hair mask, this is something you can trust on any weather, any occasion, any location, and stuff like that. We have finished one more hair mask. This is the Kérastase Genesis hair mask. Now Genesis range is specifically for hair breakage, and this is the mask I was using because I did feel like my hair was breaking a lot in the middle, and this really helps with that. This also has a shampoo in the range, but I also felt like my breakage was focused towards my split ends. I wanted a mask which will help with that. This one does what it claims, guys. The Genesis range is so good, especially if you have breakage. You guys have to try it out. And again, I want to specify, this is not for hair fall, this is for hair breakage, stuff that breaks from the middle. So if you have weak hair, you should consider investing in this. Moving on to leave-in products. First I have this Way leave-in conditioner. Now this is a bloody expensive product. This is 3,525 and I hated it. Okay, this is specifically supposed to help with split ends. It is supposed to make your hair soft, make your hair frizz free, but I feel like if I used it, used to not do anything for my hair, and if I used even a little bit more, it would directly make my hair oily and sticky, which I didn't like. I could not find a balance of correctly using this product. Even in spite of finishing the entire bottle, I also felt like it's just a very basic leave-in conditioner. Any leave-in conditioner can do what this is claiming to do. Didn't find anything special about this product, which is why I don't like it, and I'm gonna say bye to it. Next we have the K18 leave-in molecular mask. Oh my god, this is such a big buy, because like I was mentioning that my hair was facing breakage, and this really helps strengthen the bonds of your hair. So you have to kind of just take 2 pumps, 1 pump depending on your hair, massage it on damp hair before you style it, and it really makes a world of the difference in making your hair more manageable, making it frizz free, and kind of strengthening it so it doesn't break further. But also this is the kind of product that your hair can get addicted to. So after finishing like 1 bottle, I have taken a month and a half ka break, and now I have like today only in fact bought another one of these, because it really makes a difference, especially when you're styling your hair often. This really helps keep it going strong, and I prefer this much more than the Olaplex Bond Repair. Next we have the Kerastase Genesis Defense Thermic. So this is basically from the Genesis range, so again helps with breakage. This also has a very creamy formula, so it acts like a leave-in conditioner and it also acts like a heat protectant. So it is like a 3-in-1 product and I really like it. This one is for 3000 rupees. So when it came down to these two, I feel like this does a lot more compared to this one. So definitely check this out if you want to not get a K18 and you want to protect your hair and you want to also keep it frizz free. This is like really a 3-in-1 product, so I really like it. And the last product we have is the Tarani X B Blunt Instant Smooth Anti-Frizz Hair Spray. Now this one is again a heat protectant which claims to make your hair shiny. I feel like it didn't make my hair as shiny. I was expecting more. In fact, in the middle I felt like my hair was not looking shiny enough, like natural shine was also kind of gone. This is a good thin water-like heat protectant. I really like it because you can drench your hair in it without feeling like it's going to weigh your hair down. This feels very similar to the original B Blunt heat protectant formula, which I also really like. So if you're on a budget, this is definitely something you should check out. Up next, let's do skincare. Okay, starting with the St. Ives Smooth Skin Face Wash. This is a good face wash. It costs rupees 499. It doesn't like blow my mind, but it does have 2% BHA, so it kind of helps with mildly exfoliating your skin. I feel mid about this product. I don't think it blew my mind, but I don't think there's anything wrong with it that I can point out either. So if you want to experiment with the brand rather than getting a scrub or something, I feel like you should get your hands on the face wash because it's a good entry point into exfoliants and a good entry point into St. Ives as a brand. But if you're someone who exfoliates often, I don't know what this is gonna do for you, so maybe you can skip it. Another makeup remover I have is the Amino Melting Balm Cleanser. Now this product I really had high hopes from. It does cleanse your makeup really well. It is a little bit on the mid price range. It's not affordable. It's for 1200 rupees. But I feel like the only thing I really didn't like about this is that once you apply the balm and you wipe, like if you massage it, all the makeup is supposed to come off when you wash it with water, but this leaves a very sticky and oily residue. So you can't just leave your skin like that. You have to follow it up with a moisturizer, otherwise it feels very sticky and oily, which I don't like in any cleanser. I feel like there are so many better cleansers at a better price range. For example, the Quench one, the Plum one, the Dot and Key one, the Foxtail one, that don't leave that sticky residue behind. So I feel like I would not buy this again. Next, I've got the Garnier Micellar Water, and I don't know what to say about this that hasn't already been said on the internet. This is a great makeup remover. It doesn't leave residue. It doesn't make you break out. It is fuss free. It really does everything a makeup remover should be doing, and I even use this to clean my brushes and it does a fab job for that. So it's definitely a product that I stock up on very often and finish a lot of. Next, I've got the Ordinary Milky Toner. This is supposed to be like a new launch, and this is supposed to be like a good entry point again into exfoliation. It's supposed to do like mild exfoliation, but because this is a fermented product, it smells like bigda hua dahi or bigda hua chas. I can't explain it, but every time I used it, I just felt like I was putting something that has gone bad on my skin rather than like a luxurious indulgence into skincare. It just didn't feel very nice. And in terms of changes it made to my skin, I just feel like it didn't make any changes to my skin. I don't think it exfoliated that well or it helped with acne scars or helped with anything for that matter. It just felt like a normal milky toner that I was using. So I would not pick this up again. I'm gonna say bye to it. Next, we've got the Natio Gentle Foaming Facial Cleanser. Now, if I'm not wrong, this one is supposed to be a very expensive one. It's a nice creamy formula. It foams up very well. It cleanses your skin and it's great for sensitive skin as well. But if you don't have sensitive skin, I would not skip this because again, there was nothing so special about this face wash that made me be like, oh, you know what, like that one product is really good. I feel like there are a lot of better alternatives in the cheaper section of things. For example, like a Pond's or a Dot & Key or even like a simple face wash is much better compared to this one because I don't think it's worth the money. Next, we've got the Face Shop Tea Tree Pore Clarifying Gel Cleanser. I believe this is my third bottle. overall. And second bottle this year, this cleanser I really like. It really deep cleanses your skin. Your skin feels so much brighter and tighter, and it also has tea tree oil, which helps in preventing acne. And it just, the feeling you get once your face is cleansed with this, like you look like a different person, because it really removes all the impurities. It goes deep into your skin. I really like this cleanser, and Face Shop generally as a brand does a fab job with cleansers, so you have to check it out. Next, I've got this kale and green tea spinach vitamins face wash. This is from the brand Youth to the People, and I'm sure that if you are into luxury skincare, you have seen this product a lot. And I'm not gonna lie, this product lasts a lifetime, like literally, because look at how big this is for a face wash. You barely need half a pump to wash your face, and this costs somewhere between 4,000 to 6,000 rupees. And I just like don't know why. Like, why does this cost so much? Like, yeah, it is made with clean ingredients. It is very, it doesn't harm your skin. It doesn't like do anything wrong. It is supposed to be great for sensitive skin. But then there are so many other products. Like, there's a CeraVe, there's a Cetaphil, there is a Simple. These products are great for sensitive skin as well, and they use dermat rate ingredients. So why are we paying 4,500 ish for a product which is nothing special, is not, I mean, I don't see the hype about it. And I read up a lot about why this is special, and all of it honestly felt like marketing jargon, because I didn't feel any different when I was using this cleanser, so I would not pick this up again. Next, we've got the Beauty of Joseon sunscreen, and as you can see that this has been used and exploited very well by my mother and me together, and this is a great sunscreen. It leaves that beautiful glow on your skin. It's amazing to wear under makeup. The sun protection is fab. The PA protection is fab, and it's supposed to have niacinamide and rice, which helps in, you know, fixing your skin as well. So if you are someone who has money to spare, then you should pick this up. If not, you can get your hands on the Lakme Dry Matte Fluid Sunscreen. I really like that one as well, and I'm currently using it. But this is a good product. Apart from it being a little pricey, I don't think there's anything wrong with it, and it is a Korean product, so it is going to be a little pricey for us over here. But it's a fab sunscreen. All the hype about it is completely valid and true. And the last product I have is the Drunk Elephant Luxury Facial Oil. This is a mini travel size oil, and Drunk Elephant as a brand, like, I've tried a lot of products and nothing has blown my mind at all. Like, everything is so mid, including this oil. I use this as like the last step of my skincare routine to lock everything in. There was no added glow, there was no added, like, yeah, it is an oil which doesn't feel sticky, that I will give it. But other than that, it is doing absolutely nothing for my skin. It, even if I've applied it directly onto my skin, it has done nothing. Even if I've used it as a skincare topper, it has done nothing for my skin. Towards the end of it, I was so tired of it, I was just using it as a cuticle oil, because I didn't know what else to do with this. This little product does go a long way, but it's just not worth the money. Next, we are moving on to body care. I'm starting with body washes. This is from the brand Wave. It's their cream body wash. It's like a newer, just launched kind of a brand, and this body wash is really good because it has shea butter, cocoa butter, mango butter, and it provides really deep nourishment. So when you're using this as a body wash, and if you don't follow it up with a moisturizer, I felt like I was good until winter started, because it's a nice, deeply hydrating formula. A little body wash does go a long way. It does smell really good. So all in all, I feel like this was a great find, especially for like a newer brand. Like, they're doing some really good stuff. Next, we've got the Nykaa Wanderlust Sparkling Stars. This was a new launch, and I was so excited for it because this body wash had glitter in it. So it smelled really good. Like a vacation, but it also had glitter, and after I was done showering and like changing my clothes and all, I could see glitter in the tiny pores of my skin. I don't know if that's healthy for you. I don't think it's a problem either, but it felt really cool. But one thing about this was that it smelled really good, not very strong, not too fragranced, perfumey, but I felt like this didn't make me feel squeaky clean. Like, usually by the, I mean, unless I'm working out, I don't smell, I don't sweat very often. But when I was using this body wash, like towards the end of the night, I would feel the need to shower again. This didn't keep me squeaky clean, if you know what I mean. It kept me more hydrated, kind of clean, which I didn't really like. I feel like this is a good gifting item because it's glitter body wash, but other than that, I would not buy this again. Next, I've got this Innisfree Warm and Fuzzies body wash. This one smelled so good. It smelled like Christmas in a bottle. Oh my god, I love it so much. Like, it was really good, very hydrating on your skin, felt like a luxurious spa. But I do think this is really pricey, so I don't know if anybody should pay this much for a body wash. So I mean, see the price. If you like the price, then pick it up because it's a fab body wash. But if you don't, you're not missing out on anything either, according to me. Next, we've got the Dove body wash. Really love Dove body washes right now. Like, I've been using all of them. This orange one is probably like my second or third bottle. It's a brightening body wash. I don't think it really exfoliates as well as it says, but it smells good. It leaves you feeling really clean, and it keeps you clean for hours. And yeah, I mean, it does say it has vitamin C, so I feel like it would work, but you would need to use it like continuously and probably leave it on your skin for a little longer as well. But it's a great body wash. The price point is great, and it is co-created with dermatologists, so I feel like it's a good product. And the last thing I've got is the Way Scalp and Body Scrub. Now, I have not used this on my scalp because I just feel like it's wrong to use something with granules on your scalp because it could get a little harsh. This smelled really coconutty and sugary. So if you like coconut, which I don't, so I was not the biggest fan of this. But if you like coconut and sugar, you might want to try this out. It's actually a decent body scrub. There's nothing wrong with it. It does exfoliate. It does help kind of get rid of ingrown hair, and it makes your skin feel very soft. But the price point is 4,700. So I do feel like there are cheaper alternatives like the Body Wise AHA BHA body scrub, like the Love Beauty and Planet body scrub, like the Foxtail has a body scrub, I believe it does. So I feel like there are better, cheaper alternatives. But if you are one of those like, oh, I want to pamper myself with a Lux smelling scrub, then you can check it out. And the last category we've got is makeup. And the sad thing about this makeup list is that I have not finished everything. I'm just getting rid of a lot of it. So the first thing we have is the Urban Decay All Nighter setting spray. There is no setting spray which comes close to how good the setting spray is. And like, I'm actually finding because the brand that L'Oreal was collaborating with this for this particular formula has changed. L'Oreal has cut ties with the original brand. So the newer products that I will buy will not be this formula. So I am looking for a great alternative. Right now, the Pack 24 hours one has come close, but this was hands down like the best setting spray ever. Your makeup did not move. This is like my third bottle, and I'm really gonna miss this. Next, we've got the Huda Beauty Easy Bake setting spray, and as you can see, there is product in it, but what has happened is that the cap fell off and it was not going back in at all. And I tried tooth and nail, but it basically kind of broke, so I couldn't do anything about it. And you can't open this and like decan it and stuff like that, so I am gonna have to let this go. Even though I feel like this wasn't like the most mind-blowing setting spray, I really thought it would be, but I feel like it sprayed funny. It like left these white dots on my skin, and I could use it in the studio because like I don't wear makeup for that long in the studio and I'm always under AC. But if I had to go out, I would never use this because this didn't feel like it was making my makeup last longer. It was making my makeup flawless, yes, like it was helping with pores, yes, but it was not making my makeup last. So I'm sadly gonna get rid of this, but I would not have stocked this up anyway. Next, we've got the Too Faced Born This Way Multi-Use Concealer. I have been using this bottle for at least 2.5 3 years at this point. Like this one particular bottle, it is worth every rupee because oh my god, it's such a good concealer. I'm wearing it today and you can see how well it works, and this is my ride or die. I don't think any concealer, I've used a lot and I do like a lot of concealers, but when it comes down to, oh, I have a wedding, or oh, I have to be out all day, I don't trust anything as much as I trust this. I trust a lot of concealers. I feel like nothing comes close to this, because there are a lot of concealers which work beautifully, but I feel like ऐसे मेरे दिमाग में बैठ गया that nothing is better than this concealer, because I've used it for so long and it has never ever creased on me, or never ever failed me. I've already gotten a stock up. I don't think this Too Faced formula is leaving my vanity anytime soon. Next, we've got the Fenty Beauty Heat Gloss. I really love this. Every time I used it, people ask me what gloss I was wearing, because this shade looks so good on Indian skin tones. It's hot cherry and it's plumping and it's nice, and I found a dupe for it also. It's the L'Oreal Paris Plump Ambition in Le Rouge Paris. It's the exact same formula and the exact same finish and the exact same thing at like 1/3 the price. So don't get this one now, get the L'Oreal one. And I don't think I'll also get this one. I think I'll get the L'Oreal one only. But this was a good product. Like, I have finished it. And the last thing we have is the REM by Ariana Grande's eyeliner pen. Now this is also a product that I have not finished. I'm certain that this is not over, because I've barely used it and it dried up on me, guys. Like, it dried up on me when I used it in Sephora, and like I touched it, it didn't budge. It was a great product, it was a dark product, but I don't know, once it came here, it started acting up. It didn't look very good. It was a very drag and dry formula. I didn't really like it, especially when I was trying to do like cool things. Plus I feel like the tip is so short that it comes really close to your eye and you can mess it up. It's an expensive eyeliner, so I feel like Ariana needs to kind of work on this. This was not up to the mark, so I'm just throwing this because it doesn't work anymore. And that's about it for today's video. If you guys enjoyed it, please make sure to like and subscribe to my channel. Check the description box for all the products. Let me know in the comments which of these products you're most interested in trying out. I'll see you guys next Saturday. Bye.